Hello YouTube and hello to all you pipers out there. Today I would like to introduce to you 3 tobaccos which are exclusively sold in the city of Aachen. Aachen is a city which is in the northwest of Germany. The next bigger city, which is internationally known, is Düsseldorf. And if you're in Düsseldorf and you're crossing the River Rhine to the left side, you're approaching Aachen, which is quite close to the Belgian frontier. Why Aachen? Why is that a city to my heart? Obviously, because that is one of the remaining and very rare spots where we have a superb tobacco shop, and it's allowed to smoke there. They have a wonderful lounge. I've been there once, and as soon as I get close to Aachen again, I will for sure visit this tobacco shop again. The shop's name is Schneiderwind. I will blend it in somewhere here, Schneiderwind. They also have a website, and they have a wonderful shop. When I entered there, I saw a huge amount of tobaccos. There's enormous choice that they have. They have house blends, they have the normal blends from COP and Scandinavian Tobacco Group, and what McBaron is also available. And they are a shop belonging to the John Aylesbury Group, so you can imagine you can have or you can get a very large variety of different tobaccos there. Apart from that, they have, of course, cigars. They have brandy and rum and whiskey, these things. They have an extraordinary big space for pipes. So there's really a long way where they have vitrines left and right where it's all full of pipes. And I was allowed to take photos there. So if you're interested, I put them at the very end of the video. And it is really a piper's heaven. I just walked down this passage and looked at the vitrines, and it was really wonderful. Nobody disturbed me. I was allowed to look at everything, and if I was interested in a pipe, I could also take it out and hold it and check it. Of course, not take it in the mouth, clear. And they really gave me the opportunity to explore everything, and that is something that a piper loves. If you're looking for a particular pipe, you want to be left alone, or not to be disturbed, and take your choice. And yes, that time I bought my Faun Harlequin there in Aachen. And I also purchased a number of tobaccos, some house blends. I will show a few in a moment. And after that, I was so happy. I went to the lounge, and they have a wonderful lounge, which is in a very old-fashioned style. It reminds me a little bit of the old-fashioned gentlemen's club that they had beginning of the 20th century, at the end of the 19th century, this English gentlemen's clubs, yeah, with leather furniture and everything stylish. That is something quite appealing. That's how I wish to have a men's den. And yeah, I took my purchases there, and I smoked a pipe, some tobacco, and I was offered also some coffee. They have soft drinks, they offer soft drinks, and I gladly accepted that, and took a seat in the lounge, and then made myself comfortable and enjoyed all the things that I had. And after a few minutes, I got some company. Some fellow came in. He was having his lunch break. He was working, and he wanted to take a lunch break, and he wanted to have a cigar for lunch. So he came in, purchased a cigar, and I invited him to come to me and sit beside me. Yes, and we were chatting and talking, and we had a wonderful hour together. Yeah, these are the things which are instant gifts from, yeah, fate, you could say, which are very rare, but nevertheless I have a lot of gratitude for this wonderful hour. I'm still happy when I think back of that situation. Yeah, so much for romantic aspects. So, coming to the facts, great tobacco shop, Schneiderwind in Aachen, great tobacco shop with a huge variety of different tobaccos and a huge variety of pipes and cigars, and also some alcohol. As I said, if you're a fan of whiskey, I'm more a fan of rum and brandy. You will find something there, and John Ellsbury products are available there as well. Yeah, and the city of Aachen has a lot more to offer. It's historically interesting. They have a cathedral, they have a historic town hall. If the name Charlemagne or Karl the Great, Karl der Große, say something to you, that's the city where he was coronated. And you can also see old treasures. It's really worth it if you're interested in history. They have good food in Aachen. The Rheinischer Sauerbraten I can only recommend. I once had it also in a restaurant close to the town hall, and I had a nice conversation with an older couple. They were coming from Belgium, and yeah, we also had a wonderful chat. And I heard 4 languages in Aachen. Besides German, they were talking English, French, and Dutch. So that's the city of the 4 languages. Yeah, and other things, I will talk about the Aachener Printen later. And you can get wonderful bread, wonderful sweet snacks. So if I think of indulgence, I think of the city of Aachen, and especially in the time before Christmas. It's lovely to stay there. So yeah, I really get emotional because that is a city that I simply love. That's it. Good. Coming to tobacco and pipe. Today I will present 3 tobaccos. One I will smoke in a pipe. I will show it also. The 2 others I will hint briefly, but I can assure you there are much more. These are only 3 examples. There is much more to explore. There's much more to explore, and that's rhyming. Good. But now to the facts. The tobacco I want to smoke for today, that is the Schneiderwind Wintertraum. That means winter's dream. And Schneiderwind has a good system. At the bottom of the tin, they write the complete description, so that's easy for me, nearly easy. The description is in German, so I read it and in my mind translate it simultaneously. Let's see how good I am with that. So it's a perfect mixture for nice winter evenings. You can have an exquisite mixture of brown and black Cavendish, golden and brown Virginia. So no burley in there. Very intensive but pleasurable flavor. It has roasted almonds, a pinch of nougat, a little bit of cinnamon, and cherries. Wow. Yeah, so that is something which they offer for wonderful chilly winter evenings. You sit at home in the warm, in a warm living room or wherever, and you're having this tobacco. That's the vibe that this tobacco wants to transport to us. Yeah, and of course I've laid out something here on the tobacco dish. So let's have a look. The mixture is for sure not unusual. So we have a lot of Cavendish, we have some different Virginias here. And I can take a sniff. And the most dominant is the almond and a little bit cherry, yeah, almond cherry, somehow like maraschino cherry. I definitely get a fruity sweetness. Nougat, I like nougat, but I don't get much nougat. And a pinch of cinnamon, but not that much. So, enough talk, let's give it a try, and today I smoke it in this pipe. That is one of the Peterson Sherlock Holmes series, that is the Peterson Milverton. And the Milverton you can tell because it's a half bend with a P-lip, and it has, you might guess it, a diamond-shaped shank and stem, and that's the reason why I love it. It's quite a huge bowl, and it's has some similarities with the Professor. However, the Professor has more round stem and shank, and you know I'm a fan of this form here. Yeah, and I'm gonna light it in a moment, and then we'll see what I get on the taste. See you in a moment. Welcome back. The bowl is lit, of course, and we have a nice light gray ashes in this pipe. I'm a fan of the P-lip indeed. It's not that much popular here in Germany, but I love the P-lip, and each time I can get some. I mentioned that Frauen also sometimes make versions with P-lip. I really enjoy them. But I hardly see that the Milverton is mentioned. Not it was mentioned by a few people, but not that much. Most of the YouTubers in the ytpc talk about the Professor. Interesting. So I've got the impression that the Milverton is somehow overlooked or underrated. Yeah, could be. This is a nice sandblasted version, by the way. Yeah, hold it in the camera that you can see it. And here we have the typical silver works. So from that aspect, it's not exceptional. It's only the form. Coming to the tobacco, in the foreground I have definitely the almond taste and the cherry. They are, what shall I say, the main actors on the stage. Lovely, sweet, and for my taste, not overpowering. And this tobacco is definitely only for those who can appreciate aromatics. I get some pinch of cinnamon, but I must say nougat. And especially I'm a fan of dark nougat, so if I make nougat myself, it's pretty dark. I don't get any nougat taste here, so it's really almond, cherry in the foreground, a little bit of cinnamon. And from my perspective, these are good qualities for a suitable winter or Christmas tobacco. In the retrohale, it's really lovely. It has some more pleasant intensity, yeah. And this is a very big bowl, this Milverton, and it's a good pipe to smoke aromatics in. Yeah, lovely thing. So if you appreciate, or if you can appreciate sweeter tobacco in the cherry almond taste, if you're into these things, if you say yes, I'm in the mood for some Christmas-like tobacco, you want to have this vibe, cheers, then that's the one to go. This is tea. It's in the evening, now late in the evening after a day's work done. I'm a little bit tired, but nevertheless had a good day. And then in the evening, I appreciate some tea with herbal essences. Yeah. So that is the first tobacco. I put the pipe aside for a moment because I wanted to show you something else. Talking about Aachen, Aachen is the city where we have a special, what shall we say, version of gingerbread. Gingerbread you probably heard of, that's very well known and produced in the city of Nuremberg. But and I also make low carb versions of that. But in the city of Aachen, we have a variation of that gingerbread, and they call it Printen. And if you think in your mind of the word to print, then you are really close, and it's really something to do with printing, because it's a very old delicatesse, some centuries old, and this one in former times, in older times, the bakers really used wooden forms and very decorative forms. So they could have the form, they were carved, the form of the cathedral. So you have a wooden form with a cathedral motif or the town hall motif or any other motif that you can think of. And they modeled that, and then they were baking it. So took it out of the form and then we're baking that. And then you have an Aachener Printe in the shape of the cathedral or the town hall or whatever, Santa Claus, whatever you can think of. Yeah, and this is really nice and very traditional. And the difference to the gingerbread that is made in Nuremberg is in Aachen they use, and I had to look that up because the English word is sugar beet syrup. They use sugar beet syrup. Yeah, and that's one thing that is special for the Aachener Printen, and the other thing is they use Kandiszucker in it, and also some winter spices. Yeah, and the point is it has some different taste, a slight different taste from the Nürnberger Lebkuchen, and it's impossible to make it in low carb because of that sugar beet syrup. So far I didn't find any good product to replace that, and the sugar beet syrup gives it also a different taste, takes the taste in a slightly different direction, but I really do love that. Getting now into something real. So much for the theory, so now let's getting practical. This is one example of an Aachener Printe, Kräuterprinte, herbal print. This is a sweet printer. You see the form is now such a long rectangle. Yeah, of course today it's made, it's machine made. However, you can in good printing shops you can also get the one examples with the wonderful motifs that I've mentioned before. So this is a very mass production thing or machine made thing. You can buy good quality machine made anyway. However, you can also get traditional printing with nice motifs. So Kräuterprinte, that's this one. I just break it. Looking like this. And it has a wonderful smell, so I can distinguish an Aachener Printe from Nürnberger Lebkuchen just by the smell. This one, I can try this and taste it for us. And immediately I get the sweetness biting into this Kandis sugar. Take some tea with it. Normally I don't use it, this printer as a snack. I use it to thicken a sauce. Yeah, if I'm in the kitchen and I'm making roast some meat, and I want to make the sauce thicker, then I use them. Yeah, I just crumble that one, put it in the pot, whisk it, and then you get a wonderful sauce, a dark sauce with this particular flavor. And I have read that the people in Aachen really buy this already crushed, and they have it in big tins just to make their sauce. And especially if you want to make something delicious for Christmas time, this takes the flavor of the sauce in a completely different direction. So you're immediately reminded of holiday. Cheers. However, as I said, I don't use this one as a snack, so that was an exception. I prefer a version, this one. This is my favorite. This is basically the same as this one, just a little shorter, and inside is the same as this one, but this one is covered with nuts, hazelnuts, and dark chocolate. Yeah, that's for Matthias. and also break this, so you can see it, basically the same, but a little bit more luxurious probably. After a hard working day, that's a perfect ending, together with a wonderful pipe. There is nothing more to ask. But enough of this, I put it aside. Yes, and by that being said, I come to the next tobacco, and this is this one here. That's the Schneiderwind mixture number 11, and this is called the Aachener Printe, or as they say in colloquial language, Aachener Printe. And this tobacco should resemble in the taste to this Printe here. Yeah, and this is a 50-gram tin, and I really buy one tin every year and enjoy it in the time November, December, January, depending on the cadence. I really love to smoke that in the holiday season. This is one of my favorite Christmas tobaccos. Yeah, Schneiderwind number 11, Aachener Printe. Why do I say that, especially to an international audience? I'm quite aware that I take the risk that you probably don't like this video, or it doesn't get so much clicks. However, Aachen is something, as I said, to my heart, and that is something I simply wanted to talk about. And I know there are people in Germany who haven't seen so far, or haven't visited so far, Schneiderwind. So for the German pipers, of course, if you are close to the city of Germany, give it a try. Schneiderwind is a wonderful shop. As I said, I was allowed to smoke there, and there are not many shops in Germany where they're still allowed to smoke, where you have a lounge. Yeah. Just light the pipe again. But also for international audience, I know that some of you fellow pipers visit Germany every now and then to explore the cities, explore the places, and to buy good tobacco. Nice composition in the evening. Yeah. And now let's imagine for a moment. So you have come a couple of times. You have probably seen the city of München with the tobacco shops there. You've been in Cologne and visit Peter Heinrichs. You have been in Hamburg. There are a number of tobacco shops. You have seen probably Kiel and have seen Motzek. And now you're in the mood to go once again to Germany and to explore something new, and you have no clue where to go to. In that case, if you're a pipe smoker, I can only give one recommendation. Consider the city of Aachen. Truly. I need to temper that. This city has a lot to offer. Historical place, old European history, good bread, extraordinary bread, not bad, bread, very good bakeries. And I'm quite sure one day will not be enough. There is a Lind outlet there, and there is also factory sales of Aachener Printen. So depending what you prefer, so everybody can be satisfied there. If you come by car, there are motorways, or if you fly in, you can get to Düsseldorf, and there you can get local trains to Aachen. And the Schneiderwind, maybe I put the address in the video description, is not that far from the main station. And I think now you get the point. In the whole world, of course, I watch your videos as well, and I hear many times, sorry, it's not allowed to smoke here, not allowed to smoke here, not allowed to smoke there. Hardly any places where you are allowed to smoke. There we are. Still. Let's see how long. Maybe it will be forbidden. We never know. And by that being said, I come to the third recommendation. So, I had two aromatics, however. This one is really a flavor bomb, the Schneiderwind Wintertraum. This one, the Aachener Pipe, is more a Danish style. It's not so overpowering. And now I'm coming to the third tobacco recommendation. And that one is the Banbridge Flake. This one is a natural tobacco. And again, I'm going to read the consistency from the tin. It's a natural tobacco and has different Virginia and Burley tobaccos. It's and then pressed to a flake. And it has a tiny pinch of perique, so very little bit of perique. It's a flake and it has a very, very decent nougat flavor. When I smoke this, I only get it, not in every puff, only every now and then in the retrohale. So it's not that much of a flavor, but lovely Virginia Burley. That is the Banbridge Flake. That is a 100-gram tin. I have it in my tobacco bar. I bought it at least 1 year ago and it was €20.40. Meanwhile, it's a lot more expensive. I don't know by heart, but I guess nearly €30. So that is the Banbridge Flake. If you like natural tobaccos, you can also find good stuff at Schneiderwind. I just forgot to mention here from the Aachener Pipe, so the Schneiderwind 11. This is the flavor of this Aachener Pipe. And we have here Golden Virginia tobacco, some Burley, and Golden Virginia Burley, and no Cavendish in there. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. So yeah, I wrote some date on the bottom of the tin. So that was I purchased in 1224. So this tobacco is 1 year old. This is 125. The Banbridge Flake and the Wintertraum. I don't know. It's even older. So summarize that. Coming to a conclusion after I light my pipe again. No matter where you come from, if you're a German citizen and you're close to the city of Aachen, and if you're a pipe smoker, give it a try, it's worth it. But also if you're coming from another country and you love to visit Germany just to make some purchases, I know some of you do, and you have no idea where to go next, consider the city of Aachen. Yeah. It's in this the city center. It's really lovely historical city center. If you're coming end of November, December, there will also be the Christmas market. Very lovely, atmosphere there. Christmas atmosphere there. Do you have Christmas markets in your country as well? I know some countries have, but I don't know if it's really common. Here in Germany, it's quite an older tradition that we have Christmas markets. But from city to city, the atmosphere differs. Some are really nice, so traditional. You hear Christmas music, you have a flavor of sugar, of almonds, of gingerbread, and some have more the atmosphere of, I have the feeling that I'm on a place where disco, and that is not what I'm looking for in a Christmas market. Glühwein, of course. Don't forget to drink some Glühwein. Yeah. That's what I wanted to tell you. My love for the city of Aachen, and one from my perspective, Schneiderwind is so far my #1 tobacco store in Germany. I appreciate them and their store, and yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this. Now, enough romantic talk for today. And the only thing that's left to say, yeah, thank you for supporting my channel. I saw that I have some new subscribers. Welcome. Appreciate your support. And then again, I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye. See you then.